After 18 innings of baseball last night, we've still got 9 more tonight. Welcome to the Dom Skiing Channel, your one-stop shop for the MLB storylines on America's minds and Canada's. And after an 18-inning World Series game, the second in history, happened last night, quite possibly the greatest baseball game of all time. First of all, shout out to everybody who's new to the channel, a few new subscribers, quite a few views on that video, so appreciate that from everybody. But today we've got another game, and the Blue Jays have switched up their lineup, whereas the Dodgers have basically kept it exactly the same. Actually, they have kept it exactly the same. So the Blue Jays leading off Nathan Lucas, as George Springer had to come out of the game during the 9 innings yesterday, the regular 9 innings, after what looks like he's getting injured. Swings, winces in pain, grabs his back, and it looks like he might be done for the series. We don't know. Maybe he tries to make it back, but if your back is messed up, there's no swinging correctly. You just can't do it. If you've ever played golf, you understand what that's like, or if you play baseball. Nathan Lucas gonna lead off for the Jays. Makes sense. He's a pretty balanced hitter. Elite at not striking out. Pretty good at walking, but he has good expected batting average, good batting average. He's a guy who can slap that ball into the corners really well. So he's going to lead off for them. Then everything basically just moves up a spot, except Alejandro Kirk stays in the 5 hole. So now you've got Vladdy hitting second, Bo Bichette hitting third and DHing. You got Barger back in right field. He's going to be hitting cleanup. Then Kirk staying in that 5 hole, with Varsho at 6, Clement at 7, Jimenez at 8, and IKF at 9. So they're going with, they've still got their best hitters in there, except George Springer. And does the Blue Jays offense survive without George Springer, especially when going against the starting pitcher for the Dodgers today, Shohei Ohtani, who set an MLB record last night by reaching base in all 9 of his plate appearances. That's a record for not just postseason, but regular season as well. Nobody's ever reached base 9 times in a game. Actually, there is one. There's only one other time I think that's happened. And Shohei Ohtani hasn't pitched a ton this year, so the data is not, there's not a big data set on him, but in the small amount of data that we do have, he's elite at basically everything. He might even be a better pitcher than he is a hitter, if that gives any does any justice to how good he actually is. And you see what type of pitches he has. Obviously he's got 6 pitches because he can do anything he wants. He can do it all. Only uses the splitter about 5% of the time, curve 9% of the time, slider 11.3% of the time, cutter 6% of the time, sinker 7% of the time, and then four-seamer 39% of the time. However, he can mix it up. He has control over everything pretty much when he's going. It's very doubtful that Shohei won't have the feel for any of his pitches. So expect a kitchen sink approach from Shohei. Then on the other side, you've got Shane Bieber, who comes with 36% four seam, 13% cutter, 21% slider, 13% changeup, 19% curve. But after how poorly, we saw kind of a funeral of the curveball in the first few innings last night. Then once both teams moved away from the curveball, it took about a good 14 innings before either offense started getting going again. Really, 14 innings of mostly blanks. So also, I'm going to change this Team USA cap when I don't predict the score correctly. I'm going to go back to the Mariners 2025 postseason hat. But yesterday I predicted the score correctly at 6-5. The other 2 games predicted the Dodgers run total correctly and missed on the Blue Jays. First game, they obviously scored 11 runs. Second game, they scored 1 run. But overall, today, you got Bieber versus Ohtani on the mound. I'm going to take 5 strikeouts for Bieber. I'm going to go 6 for Bieber's and 8 for Ohtani. I just see some of these hitters pressing a little bit more after last night. Even though last night was such a patient game, it felt like whoever won that game obviously gets the upper hand in the series. But felt like that game was for the World Series. By far the best game of the first three, one of the best baseball games of all time. And both bullpens absolutely got taxed. Everybody out of the bullpen got used. So what are we going to see today in terms of bullpen usage? Truthfully, we do not know. There could be a Kershaw spot here for the Dodgers again. Maybe they feel more comfortable letting him in there after, all the depth gets so challenged last night, even though he's only got about 92 miles an hour of juice on his fastball. So that's a possibility. And for the Blue Jays, they have a lot of guys who can go multiple innings and stuff. They didn't have any one guy take a huge bulk of the relief other than Eric Lauer, who is a starting pitcher turned reliever anyway. And so I expect them to roll out a pretty typical game plan. Maybe, your Braden Fisher. I think Brennan Little did get back into the circle of trust with that performance last night a little bit. Maybe they probably going to have Jeff Hoffman go out there again. But the best thing tonight for either team that they can use is length from the starting pitchers. So, Shohei, I'm going to say 8 strikeouts. Bieber, I'm going to say 6. Partly because offenses are going to be pressing, partly because they need that length more than ever right now. The game starts in just a couple minutes, so I'm going to sign off here and get this uploaded. But for home runs, we're going to take Vladdy. Hasn't hit one yet in this World Series, but I'm going to say he does it tonight. And then I'm going to say that Freddie Freeman with the walk-off yesterday, but I'm going to go with Teo. He's very close. And I think he's going to get one over the wall. And for the final score, we're going to go. It feels like the Dodgers have the upper hand in this series again, after last night especially. So we're going to go Dodgers 4. Dodgers 5. Blue Jays 2. I think they're going to take this one pretty handily with Shohei on the mound and leading off. Anyway, that's going to do it. I will see you guys after the game. And, go Mariners. Hopefully Ty France gets in this game. If you're here for the Mariners content, I promise more of that is coming soon. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. See you guys after the game. Go M's.